Once upon a time, in the prosperous kingdom of Elgon, there ruled a wise and respected king named King Mwanga. His reign was marked by peace and prosperity, and the people of Elgon enjoyed a high standard of living. The king was known for his fairness and dedication to the welfare of his subjects. During his campaign, King Mwanga had declared, "This ruling will favor the bodaboda riders, the mamambogas, the hustlers, and not the dynasty." This promise resonated with the common people, who placed a great deal of hope in him, leading to his overwhelming victory in the election. However, the kingdom's parliament was filled with greedy and self-serving representatives. These members of parliament, MPs, were more interested in their own gain than the well-being of the people. They often passed laws that favored the wealthy elite and themselves, disregarding the struggles of the common man. One year, the kingdom faced financial difficulties, and the parliament proposed a new finance bill. This bill would raise taxes on essential goods and services, placing an even greater burden on the already struggling citizens. The MPs argued that the increased revenue was necessary to fund important projects, but in reality, they planned to use the funds for their own enrichment. Some MPs even voted in favor of the bill without attending the finance bill reading, highlighting their neglectful attitude toward their legislative responsibilities. King Mwanga, reluctantly, supported the finance bill on the advice of his top advisors, who had been given increased allowances by the MPs to secure their loyalty. They assured the king that it was the best course of action, though their advice was motivated by greed. Among the people of Elgon was a young man named Kofi, known for his intelligence and strong sense of justice. Kofi saw the devastating impact that the new taxes would have on his community. Determined to make a difference, he organized a group of like-minded citizens to protest the bill. They took to the streets, chanting slogans and holding signs that read, "Justice for the people," and "Stop the greed." The protests quickly gained momentum, drawing attention from across the kingdom. Kofi and his group used social media to spread their message, and soon, the hashtag #RejectFinanceBill 2024 was trending throughout Elgon. The movement resonated particularly with the younger generation, who saw it as a fight for their future. Many young people, despite being university graduates, were forced to take up odd jobs like roasting maize on the streets due to heavy unemployment and the high cost of living. Despite the growing unrest, the MPs remained unmoved. They passed the finance bill, ignoring the cries of the people. To placate the masses, they only amended the bill by removing taxes on a few non-essential items. But the cost of living remained exorbitantly high due to the pervasive taxes and rampant unemployment. In response, the protests intensified. The Minister of Security granted permission for peaceful demonstrations. However, when these demonstrations took place, they were met with harsh resistance from the royal guards. Tear gas was deployed to disperse the crowds, and in the chaos, several demonstrators were injured, and some even lost their lives. Amidst the turmoil, someone hacked into the system and stole the MPs' phone numbers, making them public. Concerned citizens bombarded the MPs with numerous texts, pleading with them not to pass the bill. Despite this outcry, the MPs proceeded with their decision. Deeply concerned about the escalating situation, King Mwanga called a meeting with his top security officials to discuss the threat posed by the protests. In the grand war room of the palace, the king gathered with his chief of defense, the head of the royal guards, and other top security advisors. "These protests cannot be ignored," King Mwanga began. "The youth are our future, but their unrest poses a serious threat to the stability of our kingdom. We need to find a way to address their concerns without causing further harm." The chief of defense, General Nkosi, replied, "Your Majesty, we must show strength to maintain order. However, it is clear that the use of force has only fueled their anger. We need a strategy that balances security with dialogue." The head of the royal guards, Captain Bali, added, "Perhaps we could create a council that includes representatives from Generation Z to voice their concerns directly to you, Your Majesty. This could help build trust and find a peaceful resolution." King Mwanga nodded thoughtfully. "A council of youth representatives? This could be the bridge we need. Let us proceed with this plan. We will invite the leaders of the protests to join this council and work together to find solutions." However, after the MPs passed the bill, Generation Z began a movement known as Occupy Churches, aiming to prevent MPs who betrayed them from addressing the public. Some MPs were even snatched of their microphones during public events. They also feared they might not be re-elected in the coming elections due to their unpopular decisions. Seeing the kingdom on the brink of chaos, King Mwanga decided to act. He announced a royal decree to withdraw the finance bill and incorporate the issues raised by Generation Z. The people of Elgon celebrated this victory, but they knew the fight was not over. In the months that followed, King Mwanga worked closely with Kofi and other community leaders to implement the reforms. The Independent Commission uncovered numerous cases of corruption, leading to the arrest and prosecution of several MPs. New elections brought in representatives who were committed to serving the people, not their own interests. Under this new leadership, Elgon began to prosper once more. The economy improved, and the people saw the benefits of a government that truly represented their needs. King Mwanga's commitment to justice and the bravery of citizens like Kofi ensured that the kingdom remained a place of fairness and opportunity for all. And so, the story of King Mwanga, Kofi, and the greedy members of parliament became a legend in Elgon, a reminder of the power of unity and the importance of standing up against injustice. The tale was passed down through generations, teaching that a just and prosperous society is built on the principles of fairness, transparency, and the unwavering resolve of its people.